If you or a family member have been hurt because of the careless actions of another person, call Walker Texas Lawyer. They'll work to get you the financial compensation and justice you deserve. They have 40 years of experience, and you don't pay unless you win. Call 713-881-9653 today for a consultation or go to walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lucky to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Josh, thank you so much for taking the time, man. First off, let me say, what a fun movie The Beekeeper is. You are so fun in it.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
When I saw that you were part of the film, I didn't watch the trailer. I said, I just want to watch the movie and take it for what it is. And when I saw your character come on, I'm like, this is perfect.
Awesome.
It's not what you expect from you. And I think that's what makes this role so impactful. Was that something that you were trying to seek out, maybe playing the bad guy and seeing how that would go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I read the script and I knew that they were thinking about me for Derek, I was like, I haven't done this before, so let's see where it goes, man. It was great. It was so much fun to dive into something so absurd, so out there, but also trying to find, I think the trick with these kinds of characters is just trying to find, the truth inside of them and not just be bad to be bad, but understand why. And David Ayer and I had a lot of conversations around that, kind of understanding what makes Derek tick. And then once we kind of got that base down, it gave me a lot of freedom to just throw caution to the wind and just really send it.
Yeah, you seem like you were coloring outside the lines a lot, from what you would think, even from a normal bad guy. I felt like this character had a lot of differences to it. Like, what were some of the things that you brought to it specifically? Was there a character trait, a certain wardrobe, or a tick that he had?
It was really collaborative across the board. Like when we kind of first started talking about Derek and sort of understanding his family dynamic, understanding that, he's never been held accountable for anything. There's been no consequences his entire life. And then originally this character was going to be a bit more of like a buttoned-up three-piece suit kind of criminal. But then after David and I started talking and he got to know me a little bit, he wanted to give it an edge to it and really kind of flip that stereotype on its head a bit. And then we started talking about looks and stuff, and the hair designer had the idea of doing the blonde hair, and I was like, I love that. And then I started talking with the wardrobe designer, and I was like, I think that he has a lot of golds and greens and animal print and stuff, so kind of got to play with that. But it's really fun because David gave me a lot of runway to improv and play. And for instance, the first scene when I skateboard into the office building, he kind of just told me, he's like, look, I'm going to put people around. This is your kingdom. You're the king. Just go and be the king. And so that was just all kind of improv and breathing and living as this guy Derek. So it was a lot of fun.
You know what? And that actually, now that you say that, it comes through in the film. It feels very very freeing. It feels very organic with the movements of it, and the whole film is so kinetic and it keeps you engaged the whole time. One thing that I actually had a genuine curiosity about when I was watching the movie is playing a scene with another actor on the phone and building that tension through that device on the screen for the audience. Yeah. Is that something that is it difficult at all? I don't know.
It's a little bit weird sometimes. Thankfully, the actor that played the other guy on the phone, he actually came into set that day, and we did an actual phone call with him, so he was able to kind of read the lines with me. But he hadn't shot his part of it yet, so we're kind of like guessing at what he's gonna do in ways. So it's a little tricky. Also, like, we were shooting this office building where there was really bad cell service, so like that was kind of getting weird. So then he was just like yelling the lines, and then that's awkward because it's not on the phone. So it can get weird, especially when you haven't shot part of it. But hey, you know, we make it work. Movie magic.
Movie magic. Now, before I run out of time, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Jason Statham. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine about this movie, and he said Jason Statham he's like salt. He makes everything better.
Yeah.
And I felt like in this movie, he's so great at it. How was it working against him?
It was great, man. I mean, Jason is such a pro. Like, it's the guy doesn't make really mistakes. Like, you know, the amount of choreography that he knows, the fact that he does all of his stunts, hits his mark every single time, like knows exactly where the camera needs to be to capture the moment. And on top of that, he's just like a nice guy. He's not difficult in any way. Like, it was great working with him. I had very few scenes with him because we're enemies, but I'm kind of more of a mastermind, and I pay other people to go deal with guys like Jason. But ultimately, that catches up to me. So.
Absolutely. The movie is great. It's definitely a throwback in a lot of ways to Lethal Weapon and Die Hard and those classic movies of the action genre. And you were so great in it. And I just really appreciate you taking the time, and congrats on a great movie and a great character.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.